Yeah, I don't know what I've done here. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we've got a little blank in the lathe, and my plan is to turn this into a Christmas ornament. You guys know I like Christmas ornaments. What we've got here is my first attempt at what's going to be a Celtic knot. For those that are not familiar with the Celtic knot blank glue up, let's go over to the bandsaw and talk about how I created this blank real quick. Let's go over there. Okay, so here's how I did this. I kind of set up this quick little setup. All of the information that I found on the internet said that you need to cut this blank at an angle, and I think ultimately that angle is arbitrary. It's up to you. I was trying to keep in mind how big this ball was going to be, not just in diameter, but you know, the height is going to be basically the same as the diameter too. So that meant that this needed to be a little bit smaller, so I went with an angle of 20 degrees, and then I set up this jig so that I could push this through the saw. I've got a fence to hold it against so that the distances are all the same. I've got my angle here set on the gauge there, and then I can push that through and cut that angle. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut this first side at an angle, glue in your stripe, and glue that back together. Then you're going to turn it one rotation, 90 degrees, and then cut that angle, same angle again, and then glue that stripe in there, glue this back together, turn it 90 degrees again, cut it again, glue that stripe in there, glue it back together, turn it the last 90 degrees, and then do that last one. Okay, and then this is what you end up with. So it's a little bit strange, it's hard to understand at first, but that's the quick and down and dirty of it. Is you're going to cut one side, glue it back together, rotate it 90, cut that one, glue it back together, rotate it 90, cut that one, glue it back together, rotate it 90, cut the last one, glue it back together. All of your angles need to be the exact same. All of the distance from your fence needs to be the exact same, so that when you start that cut, it's in the right spot on every single one of them. Now, my blank has some inherent problems, and you probably noticed that as I rotated it. One of these laminates that I glued in there is not the same as the other laminates, because I ran out of that material and I didn't realize it when I started. Otherwise I would have went with a totally different laminate and made them all the same. So I ran out of material, so the last one I kind of scrambled and just found a piece. So this stripe here is wider than the others, and it's a different color, and that's going to affect the outcome. Also, during the process of gluing it up, I wasn't paying attention, and I moved my fence to do another procedure and then came back to it, and then the fence wasn't exactly correct, so they may not come together correctly. I think you can see right there it's a little bit off, right, compared to how that one came together and how that one came together, but that one's definitely off. So when I get this turned, it may not actually look correct, but I'm okay with that. This was a test, kind of a proof of concept for me. I just wanted to try to understand the process. So we're going to turn it and see what happens. So let's head back over to the lathe. Okay, so I've got it chucked up between centers, and I put this between centers because I don't think that my blank was glued up quite square. You can actually see, you know, when you're gluing an angle, they tend to slide a little bit and they won't stay perfectly lined up. I struggled with that quite a bit. So what I've done here is I actually marked a line along here to find the points along the center of that X, and then I transferred those lines across the two end faces to give me my centers, instead of just trying to find the center on the blank itself. I actually tried to line them up with the centers of those X's on all faces. So hopefully that works out right. I don't know. Let's see. We're going to figure this out as we go. I've never done one of these, so this is kind of a new thing for me, but I think it'll look pretty cool when we're done. So I'm going to grab my face shield, and then we'll get after this. Okay, so we've got it rough shaped, and you can start to see the knot is actually forming, so I'm pretty happy about that. Let's get this thing in the chuck and start working on it. All right, there we have it, one ball element. The next thing we'll need to do is make a couple finials for this, and then we can have another Christmas ornament done. So as you can see, there's the Celtic Knot. I don't know how effective it was at pulling off that look. You know, I think it's really cool. I don't know if I'm 100% happy with it, but I think it's a great first effort. You can definitely tell the one piece is a different laminate, so because it definitely has a different color to it. But you know, all in all, I think that's a good first attempt at a Celtic knot, and I'm pretty happy with it. And we'll get a couple finials turned from this, and then we'll get her finished up. So let's grab some different material and work on a finial. All right, guys, there you have it, the finished project. My very first Celtic Knot done on a Christmas ornament. So you can see this one, we went with a Wenge for the finials and trying to get a little bit of a different shape on this one. You know, I like to make sure all my finials are different and unique, and kind of felt like I was in a little bit of a rut there for a bit. So just trying something a little bit different on this one with just, you know, a couple little rings there and then smaller ring down below it. I think it looks pretty good. Finished this one out with OB Shine Juice. Still struggling with that a little bit. I kind of feel like I didn't get a very good luster out of the bottom part, and I'm not real sure why. Like I said, I'm still new to the OB Shine Juice, so I'm still playing with it, trying to figure it all out. But all in all, I think this one came out pretty good. We'll give it a little spin there, and I'll give you a slow roller at the end so you can see it. And hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you're not new here and you haven't subscribed, maybe consider subscribing. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is coming. So a couple things that I do want to note. This video is actually being recorded at the end of March. And aside from all of the YouTube cross-channel challenge videos, all the rest of the videos that you've seen before this one were recorded in either January or February. I tell you that story so that I can tell you this story. My day job has gone back to working in the office. I'm no longer working from home, which means that the amount of extra time that I have to do these projects has kind of changed quite a bit. So I'm hoping to stay on the content, but there's definitely going to be a slowdown of content coming after this video. I was on a pretty good roll there with a video every Friday. Hopefully I can still maintain at least one video a month, but I ask that you guys stick with me and just hang in there. And if you liked this project, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.